Hi everybody, this is the UN assignment I'm going to take you through. We're basically just going to read through it and make sure we cover all our bases so you know exactly what's going on. In the assignment, you're going to be responsible for researching a recent activity of the UN from one specific country or territory. Okay, so this is something that's happened, either happening or has happened in the past year or two. You research one area of involvement in the United Nations that is committed to and assess its success, failure, or uncertainty based on the research that you find. So, for example, you might research the work of UNICEF in Syria, and then based on your research, you'll figure out whether UNICEF's work in Syria has been, over the past couple of years, has either been a success, a failure, or you're not quite sure, based off of your evidence. You either have the choice to write a 2 to 3 page research report using 12-point font, double spaced, or letting me know ahead of time, try to present your findings in class through a presentation, which could be through PowerPoint, Google Slides, Prezi, Adobe Spark, whatever it is you want to use. And I also mentioned here to use proper referencing for your material that you use. This link here will take you through and tell you how to reference all kinds of different information. I'll just click on it here so you can see. So this gives you a layout as exactly how to reference different types of things, right? So this is your guide here for APA citations. So please use this as your guide whenever you're doing APA citations in this class or any other class. Okay. So I'll go back to the assignment here. So this is really key. You're looking into one organization in one country. So I talked about UNICEF in Syria, but it can be another organization. Your report or your presentation is going to attempt to make the case that the UN presence is either a success or a failure, or as I said, it could be somewhere in the middle. You're not quite sure. Some sort of neutral ground. And they give you a few examples of some organizations you might be interested in. So the World Food Program, World Health Organization, UN peacekeeping missions that are happening right now in Congo or especially in South Sudan. I mentioned here, be sure to cite all of your stuff, all of your sources. Do not use Wikipedia as a source. It won't be accepted. It's a nice guide to sources, but it's not itself a proper formal academic source of information. The idea of this assignment is to facilitate your understanding of the UN, right? Globally, to understand how it works, its functionality, and its purpose. Okay, that's the basis of this assignment, trying to get you guys to be, to learning about the UN in different places that you didn't know about, to expand your learning of what the UN actually does around the world, which is quite a bit. You submit it through Kazena, which the instructions are found below for that. It's pretty straightforward. And then the due date is right here. So that's all there for you to see. There's a couple good websites for you to use here. A good jumping off point for you if you're not really sure what to look at. I'm going to take you through a few things here. This is your checklist. It's out of 20. So you're being graded on the proof of your understanding of the issue or the country that's being looked at. Like, are you illustrating to me that you understand what's going on and like what the organization is actually doing there? Obviously, spelling is key if you're doing a presentation. Your speech and your voice and your tone and eye contact and things like that are going to come into play. Your proof that you understand the importance of the issue, right? So that could be if you're talking about UN peacekeeping, for example, in a certain country, you might be telling all the great things that the peacekeepers might be doing. Or otherwise, you might be talking about how maybe the peacekeepers are doing a terrible job and giving me proof for that, right? That's demonstrating that you understand the importance of the issue, okay? Proper citations and referencing right here, so it's out of 5 as well. Obviously, you're using the referencing guide to help you, okay? Give me a couple of examples here. This is something I wanted to key in on. You're going to find a lot of stuff a lot of information is going to be from the UN itself, right? So, for example, this is a website on Sierra Leone, and there's all sorts of things I can click on, right? So if I was interested in learning about Sierra Leone and the World Health Organization and how they're treating people in Sierra Leone. There's all sorts of information, lots of data here, life expectancy, total expenditure on health per capita, right? You can see it's not very good. As I go down, I can click on country profile. I can, there's lots of stats. There's other articles here I can click on. Okay, you're gonna get lots of stuff from the UN. What I want you to also try to do, and this is really key, is to find sources from a third party. Obviously, the UN is not going to paint themselves in a negative light intentionally, right? They're not going to come out with an article saying, "Oh, we did a terrible job." So you need to find sources from a different outlet. So I guess with the Google Scholar, I use Google Scholar sometimes. So I advocate for you guys to use it. I found an article here on clinical illness and outcomes in patients in Sierra Leone. Right. So when it comes to Sierra Leone, this is more looking at the outbreak of cholera, right, and of other diseases too, like Ebola. Okay. So this article here talks about. Like, just click on the PDF for this. Let's give me the full article. Right. So this article might help me in support my argument that the World Health Organization in Sierra Leone is doing a great job in managing the spread of Ebola, or it might say that it's doing a bad job. There's lots of information here to help guide me in one of those directions. But the key thing here is that it's from a independent organization. It's from the New England Journal of Medicine, which is an extremely reputable source, right? So you want to make sure that you find articles or sources that are not from the UN website or from the UN per se. Okay, you want to find something that's separate to that, right? The amount of sources is kind of up to you. You can get as many sources as you feel help support your argument, but certainly in the ballpark of at least having 5. That is probably a good amount of sources. Okay, so if you guys have any questions about this, you can go ahead and email me, or just reach out to me so I can help fill in the gaps if there are any gaps about understanding this assignment. Okay, thanks a lot, guys.